Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my videos. So just going to give you the breaking news on Jadon Sancho because a bit more additional information is updated about him. So Manchester United have put a £90 million bid in for Sancho with a further 18 million due in performance related add-ons. Now, reportedly, the fee will be paid in instalments over the next 2 to 3 seasons. Now, Fabrizio Romero has already revealed that the agent fees and the personal terms have been agreed with Jadon Sancho. Also, a contract worth £250,000 a week has been agreed, and Sancho will sign a 5-year contract with Manchester United with an option of a further year. Now, The Guardian, Sky Sports and a few other media outlets yesterday said that Manchester United made breakthrough in negotiations to sign Jadon Sancho. Now, don't forget Mike Phelan, our assistant. He recently said that Manchester United could be closing in on the signing of Sancho because Mike Phelan has recently followed Sancho on Instagram. I think it said that Sancho is set to be given a bonus payment in his Borussia Dortmund contract for his appearance for England against Iceland recently. Now, we just need to come to an agreement now on a fee with Dortmund, and then I think we'll get Jadon Sancho on the board. You know, Dortmund's valuation is £108 million. Throughout the course of this transfer saga, it has been Borussia Dortmund's asking price that has been the stumbling block, because for such a long time now, we've been reluctant to meet what they are demanding. But we've been in for Jadon Sancho for like the last 3 years. You know, he still remains our number one priority target, and we've already confirmed that we will not give up on the signing of the player unless he publicly says that he wants to stay at Borussia Dortmund. Now, quite a few weeks ago, Jadon Sancho to Manchester United looked dead in the water, and there was a lot of Manchester United fans, including me, disregarding it happening in this summer transfer window, because it had said a few weeks ago that we'd abandoned our chase for the player until the summer of 2021, which is obviously next summer. And Borussia Dortmund's CEO, sporting director, another one of their directors said that Sancho will stay at Dortmund for at least one more season. But Sancho has said quite a few times that, you know, if he was to leave Borussia Dortmund, his preference would be to make a move to Manchester United. And I've already outlined the reasons why I want him at the football club. Is because he's predominantly a right winger, and Man United are in search for the right winger. Also, he's got a very, very good friendship with Rashford, and he's still very, very young. It'd be good from a Manchester City perspective if he's sold in this summer transfer window, because I think Manchester City do get around 15% of the transfer fee. He did enjoy a few years with Manchester City, but the main explanation why he left Manchester City is because he didn't get assured any first team opportunities. You know, Dortmund are going to make a huge profit on the player, because Dortmund only paid £8 million in for Man City, but analyse his performances in the few years he's been with Dortmund, his valuation has persistently grown. He has enjoyed 3 years with them so far. I think he's still under contract with them until 2022. Don't forget, last month Dortmund had set the deadline, and they said we had until the 10th of August to sign Jadon Sancho. Obviously, we missed out on that deadline, so obviously Sancho decided to go out on pre-season. But at that moment in time, there was a lot of Manchester United fans that were very, very convinced that we weren't going to get him in this summer transfer window. But back in August, which was obviously last month, Fabrizio Romero had revealed that Sancho agreed personal terms with Man United, and he said he was set to sign a 5-year deal with the football club. But just after that, it said that talks had broken down due to Borussia Dortmund's asking price. But I think now we've been persuaded to pay what Dortmund are demanding. Obviously, this goes through. Sancho will be our most expensive signing, and he'll be the most expensive English player in history. Now, we know that he will be our next number 7, because he will fulfill number 7 well. Man United have had a lot of good number 7s up and down the generations. Like I said, we had the likes of Ronaldo, best number 7 we've had, and definitely the best player we've had in the Premier League era. We had the likes of Camp 9 number 7, David Beckham, George Best. Michael Owen was in number 7 at one point, Depay, Sanchez, but obviously Depay and Sanchez were very, very inconsistent. But for a while now, we have been looking at a lot of alternatives to Sancho, and we've still obviously got a plan B if we fail to sign Sancho. We have been looking at the likes of Douglas Costa from Juventus, Kingsley Coman from Bayern Munich, Ousmane Dembele from Barcelona, Rabbi Matondo and that from Schalke. But there is much cheaper solutions in him. Don't get me wrong, I think Sancho is an exceptional player, but I just don't think he's worth what Dortmund are demanding. I think he's probably worth from between 70 to 80 million pounds. But Solskjaer did recently reveal that he was angry over the Jadon Sancho deal. And I don't blame him, to be honest with you, because this saga has gone on for far too long, and he's actually urged Ed Woodward to get the player on the board. But Sancho comes to the Premier League, he will exceed expectations. Dortmund have let quite a few big names go in recent years. Don't forget they let the likes of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang go, they let Pulisic go, they let Ousmane Dembele go, Matt Hummels, Lewandowski, Ilkay Gundogan, Mkhitaryan, they let Shinji Kagawa go at one point. So let so many big names go, and a lot of them have gone to the Premier League, like I mentioned. They've recruited players in recent years. Like I said, they brought the likes of Erling Haaland and Jude Bellingham in. Obviously, they're 2 players that were missed out on under Solskjaer. They brought the likes of Julian Braun in and Thorgan Hazard, and they got Emre Can permanently. But Sancho's stats last season were very, very impressive. I think he scored like 17 goals and provided 17 assists. So, yeah. So, that is the breaking news on Jadon Sancho. Now, how far do you think Manchester United are from winning the title? Now, I think we are at least a couple of years off winning the title from my own perception. Now, I think if we was to win the title this season or have a chance of winning it, I think, we've got to make at least 5 signings in this summer transfer window. Manchester United are not going to make 5 signings in this summer transfer window. We may make 1 more signing in this summer transfer window. I said, didn't I, for us to challenge for the title, let alone win it, we need at least 2 more signings in this summer transfer window. I think it's also very imperative that we keep the players that we need at the football club. So I think, we need to keep the likes of Rashford, keep Anthony Martial, keep Paul Pogba, keep the likes of Luke Shaw, probably keep McTominay, keep Matic, keep Fred. Very important that we keep the likes of Greenwood and Brandon Williams and all of that. But we haven't mounted any title challenge up in the last 7 years. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. The last time we won it was in Alex Ferguson's last season. Some Manchester United fans don't think Solskjaer is obviously good enough to win the title with Man United. He hasn't got a fantastic pedigree behind him, let's be honest. Obviously, he's gained managerial experience, reflecting on how long he's been with Man United. Solskjaer's been with us now around, I think it's around 20-21 months. He has definitely been at the football club over a year and a half. Before he was at Man United, he was at Molde, won a few Norwegian titles with Molde. And before he was at Molde, he was at Cardiff. He was very, very poor at Cardiff. His record was disastrous at Cardiff. He only enjoyed a short tenure with them, though, but the main explanation he got sacked from Cardiff is because he ended up getting Cardiff relegated. But like I said, this season is big for Solskjaer. It really, really is, because this season is going to be his second full season at the football club. And Solskjaer knows that he's got bigger expectations to exceed. Our expectations this season will be to challenge for the Premier League title. Also, another one of the expectations will be to win a trophy, because we've not yet won out in terms of silverware under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. And we haven't won a major honour for over 3 years, and that's the first time this has happened in like over 30 years. But don't get me wrong, I have seen improvements under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. Like I said, we've improved in the league since January, because we are unbeaten in the league since January. We are unbeaten in our last 14 league games. Our recruitment has definitely improved under the Solskjaer era. Because we have been criticised for several years, reflecting on how poor our recruitment policy's been. Obviously, we've overpaid for players in recent years. We've made a lot of bad decisions in the last 7 years. We've made mistakes in the last 7 years, and that's one of the main explanations why we have been so inconsistent. But this blame does stem from the board. Solskjaer did recently reveal that he was very, very frustrated with Ed Woodward. Main explanation is reflects on the lack of transfer business in this summer transfer window. I think Solskjaer deserves to be backed more by the board, because I feel as though that Solskjaer is progressing as Manchester United manager, because like I've said, he's publicly come out and admitted that Manchester United have got to spend money in this summer transfer window if we are to compete with the likes of City and Liverpool and now perhaps Chelsea. But Ed Woodward has said quite a few times that, he's determined to back Solskjaer. And he's showed a few times that his job is safe. Even the Glazers said that they are determined to back Solskjaer. This summer transfer window is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's fourth transfer window as Manchester United manager. Now, Ed Woodward disagrees with Solskjaer over, his signing plan. Because obviously Solskjaer wants to get new signings in as soon as possible. Woodward's obviously willing to wait until later on in the transfer window to make a signing, but that is not the case, because the summer transfer window has been open now for a while, and it shuts in just under a month. And Manchester United have got quite a few things to do, like I've already said to you. Sign a centre half, sign a left back. It'll be beneficial if we can get a left back in. Also, we've got to sell players in this summer transfer window, because quite frankly, there is deadwood at the football club. We're looking to get rid of the likes of Jesse Lingard, Andres Pereira. We're also looking to get rid of, Smalling, Rojo, Delors, Phil Jones. Don't forget Sergio Romero is open to leaving the football club. But we sell players in this summer transfer window, we will generate money, and it will help us with our rebuilding process. Like I said, Solskjaer's got a goalkeeping decision to make. I think he's definitely got to put Dean Henderson as number one this season, because I think now Dean Henderson is reliable enough to become our number one goalkeeper. Dean Henderson has got that experience behind him, because he recently enjoyed 2 successful loans with Sheffield United, and he was Sheffield United's player of the season. Dean Henderson has been part of the club for several years. We got him at the age of 14. Don't forget, Henderson recently threatened to leave Man United if he isn't sure to be number one this season. The other week, he signed a 6-year deal with Man United worth 120 grand a week. De Gea has been our number one goalkeeper for several years, but I just think he's too much of a liability now to remain our number one. And like I've already said to you, we need to get Paul Pogba a new long-term contract at the club. So there's things that Manchester United have definitely got to do. Solskjaer's already made his decision on Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire will remain Manchester United captain this season. This season's going to be Harry Maguire's second season at the football club. Obviously, last season was his first season at the club We got Harry Maguire in a deal worth £80 million from Leicester last summer. Second most expensive sign at the club and most expensive centre-half in the world. Don't forget Harry Maguire was recently given extra time off for his court case in Greece and his arrest in Greece. But yeah, other improvements I have seen, back to what I said earlier. I think Solskjaer's definitely promoted the youth very, very well. I credit him as well that he's brought quite a few academy players in to the football club. You know, he's also got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended into the football club. That's another good thing. We've let the likes of Sanchez go. We've let Lukaku go. Let Angel Gomez go. Tahith Chong was loaned out a few weeks ago. We recently loaned Dylan Levitt out to Charlton. James Garner, he's set to go out on loan. Joe Pereira, I think we've loaned him out again for another season. Herrera left the club last summer. Fellaini left in January 2019. Darmian left last summer. Valencia left last summer, and so too did Ashley Young. So a lot of players have left since Solskjaer came into the football club. So yeah, these are the improvements I have seen. I think definitely players have improved. I think Martial's really, really improved under Solskjaer. You know, Rashford's improved under Solskjaer. Fred's improved under Solskjaer. McTominay's improved under him. Matic has improved under him. Luke Shaw's improved under him. You know, definitely, you know, players have improved. Paul Pogba has improved under him and that. But there's still improvements needed this season. There really, really is improvements needed. I still think Solskjaer's decision making has got to improve. I think there's aspects of our game that's still got to improve. Certain players have got to improve. You know, so still improvements needed at Manchester United this season. There really, really is. But yeah, like I said, so far Solskjaer spent just over £200 million at Manchester United. Obviously last summer brought Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. In January brought Bruno Fernandes and Odin Ighalo in. Obviously brought Odin Ighalo on loan. And we recently signed Donny van der Beek from Ajax. He's the only signing we've made so far in this summer transfer window. You know. But last season was obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first full season at the football club. And to be honest with you, I think he exceeded most expectations. Obviously got us qualification for the Champions League. And I did say how important Champions League was for our players, attracting players and for the financial structure. We also finished third and we also progressed to 3 semi-finals. But obviously, you know, we didn't win out in terms of silverware last season. That's the only expectation that, you know, we did not exceed. But the first part of last season, Solskjaer was under pressure because obviously the first part of last season, we enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season. But like I've said to you, there's been a lot of players on our agenda. Obviously, you know, there's been obviously Jack Grealish. He's been on our agenda for a while. Dayot Upamecano from Leipzig, we've been in for him recently. You already know the news on Sergio Romero. We've not yet made a decision on him. There's an issue regarding Sergio Romero because Real Madrid have said that they want to insert a buyback clause in any deal. I think he's valued in the £20-odd million range. We've recently been interested in Alex Telles from Porto. Don't forget his agent was recently in Manchester to thrash out a deal for his client to join Man United and all of that. And Duncan Castle's recently revealed that he's been offered to Manchester United. But yeah, like I said, it'd be beneficial if we can get a left back into the football club. You know, so yeah, there's been a hell of a lot of players on our agenda. But I don't know if Solskjaer is the right manager for Man United. Like I've said, I think this season is going to tell the story. it is a transition period at Man United, and it has been a transition period for a while. Obviously, Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since the Alex Ferguson era. You know, we have sacked 3 managers since the Ferguson era. You know, we obviously sacked David Moyes. He endured 8 or 9 months at the football club. That was one mistake Man United made, was appointing Moyes in. Ferguson was obviously at the fault for recommending him in, but the main explanation Ferguson recommended him in is because he was both Scottish. Obviously, we didn't win out in terms of silverware under Moyes, and I think we finished 7th under the Moyes era, and I think that's the lowest we've finished in the Premier League era. Obviously, we sacked Louis van Gaal. He endured 2 years at the club. We did win the FA Cup under him. And Jose Mourinho, he got sacked after 2.5 years, despite him winning the Europa League and the League Cup in his first season at Manchester United and that. But in the last 7 years, we haven't only had different managers with different philosophies. We've spent close to the £1 billion range on players. So people say in reality, reflects on the money we've spent, you know, we should be much more of a commanding position. You know, but I think a lot of the players we've brought in the last 7 years haven't been the right calibre players for Man United. And there's probably some players we've brought in who we shouldn't have got rid of. Maybe we made a mistake by getting rid of Ander Herrera and Romelu Lukaku. They're probably 2 players that Manchester United should have kept. But if we can win the title under Solskjaer, obviously, you know, it will be our 21st title overall. As it stands at the moment, we are the most successful team in Premier League history because we have won 20 titles and 13 of them are Premier Leagues. But it's very, very imperative that we do have a strong start to this season. You know, Crystal Palace on the opening day, that's a game that Manchester United should win. Brighton on the second game, that's another game we should win. But within our first 7 games, we've got Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham and Everton, and they're all going to be tough games for Man United. But we need to back Solskjaer more. We have to back him more. As I've been saying on my recent videos, I think Solskjaer's been in a similar situation to what Mourinho was in. Because obviously Mourinho made it clear to our board in the summer of 2018 that he wanted to recommend a centre-half in. Obviously never got that centre-half in. But I think Solskjaer's already outlined his transfer plans at Manchester United. We've been in the process of trying to get a director of football in since like the Jose Mourinho era, and I said if we had to get a director of football in, we need someone who knows the club well, someone who's got that experience and someone with the correct philosophy and that. This season, I think Solskjaer's going to go a lot with the 4-2-3-1 formation. He went a lot with that formation last season. I presume that we're going to have a fully fit squad for Palace as well. Luke Shaw's going to be fully fit for the new season, which is good news because he sustained an ankle injury towards the end of last season. You know, so he'll go with his best 11. And Donny van de Beek, I presume, will be making his debut for the club against Palace. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you with today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.